With the stock market running close to all-time highs, and with companies running wild all over the place, there's Meta that's basically been tanking, which begs the question, is this a Google-style opportunity or not? So of course, as you guys know, Wall Street has an opinion on this, and I'll give you my exact take on what Wall Street's saying about Meta. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth off the hype, because it's exactly what you're gonna get today, guys. And hey, let's see exactly what they're saying. Obviously, Meta has fallen a lot from those all-time highs there. And I'll give you my take on if I think we are getting a Google-style opportunity with Meta or not.
Welcome back to Fast Market here on Schwab Network. A status update for Meta Platform. Shares are gaining a bit of ground today after a price target hike by DBS Bank. Southeast Asia's biggest bank raised its target to 1,000, despite it being a laggard among the Mag 7. The stock is down about 5% year to date after being plagued by legal and AI headwinds. The company is pushing to overturn a jury verdict that found it partially liable for a user's mental health tied to allegations of addictive platform design. At the same time, Meta is doubling down on AI, developing a highly personalized digital assistant powered by its new Muse Spark model. But will that be enough to spark the stock? Time now for the tug of war on Meta Platforms. For that, let's welcome back in our co-hosts Kevin Hinks and Joe Mazzola. It's bull versus bear time. Before we get to your example trades and your thoughts, just want to explain what you probably heard the bell there. Obviously, trading has already begun. That's an IPO. That's Hawkeye 360. It just kicked off trading down here. It's actually higher out the gate. Hawk is its ticker. It makes me think of MASH or something. I don't know, some old show my dad used to watch back in the day. But off to the races right now, testing the appetite for IPOs once again. Joe, I'll start with you, though. Your take on...
All right, my audience obviously skews a little bit older here on my channel, so comment down below if you remember, MASH, and let me know your favorite character from that show or something of that nature. I don't know. I'm sorry, just found it funny because I remember doing the same exact thing, although I didn't find the show that entertaining. It was more, A-Team or obviously other shows like that, Knight Rider, stuff like that. But, nonetheless, definitely part of that 80s childhood for sure.
Let's focus back in on that one.
You and I have that in common. I used to watch MASH with my dad as well. So there we go. Lots to unpack there. All right. So we're about a week removed from earnings, right? And so Meta comes out, revenue $56 billion, 33% year-over-year growth. EPS, I think 10.44. But there was kind of a one-time tax benefit that was built into that. The key is the CapEx, and they raised their CapEx to 125, or in the area of the 125 to 145 billion. So they took that up about 10 billion from where it was before, with a Q2 revenue guide of about 58 to 61 billion. So what is weighing on the stock? Well, I think there's a couple things. I think the issue in terms of maybe the free cash flow is starting to dwindle a little bit. So when I look at something like a price to a free cash flow and evaluation of the company, Meta's basically in the top quartile for where it's really been rated in terms of its price to free cash flow in probably the last 4 years. So it's in a higher level of so you're paying more per cash flow because of the fact that they're using that for the AI spend, but they're also going to the fixed income markets looking for 20 to 25 billion of investment grade bonds that they're going to be offering to kind of boost that AI spend investment. And the plunge that we saw on April 30 was interesting. It was the biggest move, or the biggest down move for the shares in 6 months. So the market did not react very kindly to Meta. Now it has fallen and found some support around that $600 level, forming a bit of a base there, if you will. We'll see. It's up a little bit today. Kind of moving against the market overall. We've seen a little bit of improvement in the RSI in terms of the technicals on the stock, so it's gotten back up to around 46. But another thing that I would talk about is from the technical side is the ADX, and the ADX right now is around 22. And what that kind of signals, anything below 25 signals, it's kind of a trend list, or there's not much showing a bull or a bear case for it. It's kind of showing a bit of a sideways trade, and that's kind of what I use to kind of key up my trade. But interested to hear what Kevin has to say.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and react to his earnings take. This is going to be exactly what all of big tech is going to look like. They are making moves. Meta, just like Google, just like Amazon, just like everybody, doesn't have to go to the debt markets in order to have the cash and the free cash flow and everything else to spend in regards to this AI spend. They spit off so much money, it's just ridiculous. So you got to kind of put them almost in another category of stocks. It's kind of the first thing you got to do. Secondarily, they're doing that so that way you don't make the free cash flow numbers look as bad. You're doing that so that way you have flexibility on your balance sheet to maneuver, pivot, or even increase spend without just burning through all your cash first, if that kind of makes sense. So there's a lot of different shifts and maneuverings, and you're going to see each one of the big tech companies kind of take a little bit of a different approach to it, but it's going to be kind of the same mix of flavors per se that they're going to use in order to fund this capex over the next year or two in regards to that. So Meta is no different than that. They just happen to take a big beatdown, which, as we all know, this is kind of the journey with Meta overall, right? It kind of, right before it ran up to its all-time highs, it dipped down to like 450 or so before it ran up to 800. It's just kind of what this stock does overall in general. It's not as volatile as like a Tesla, but it's definitely, in terms of, when I'm comparing it to other, like an Amazon, for example, a lot more volatile than Amazon is. So, you've got to kind of understand what you own to begin with. And then, of course, understand the plan moving forward with Meta itself in regards to its AI spend, what its strategy is, and everything else. And those are some things that you can kind of use to weigh on the business. Stock price doesn't tell me jack about the business itself. It just tells me what Wall Street traders are doing that day. So make sure you kind of separate those and make sure you're analyzing separate without stock price kind of being in the top of your mind.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm curious what you have to say, because that's interesting, like, analysis there. And also, I do wonder with Meta, because some of this they've got,
And sorry, I forgot to mention this right here before I jumped over to the next point here from this guy. I couldn't care less about all the technical analysis stuff he's talking about. If you're trading, makes sense. You need to know that sort of stuff. I'm not trading, not a trader at all, not something I've been interested in. So that stuff means absolutely nothing to if I should buy this stock or not. What's my plan with the stock? My price target set well before any of the technical analysis stuff happens. I'm not saying there isn't a place for it, but in regards to the situation right here with Meta, all that stuff right there, sure, if you're going to make some sort of a trade of some sort, going to play options to do something else, a lot of those sort of things can make sense for you to look at. But as a long-term buy and hold investor, doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense for me to look at that at all.
Just about CapEx, they've also got the legal hurdles around it. I wonder if they get past this, would we see something like we saw with Alphabet, Google? I don't know, because it's obviously different legal headache that's happening here. But your thoughts on Meta, Kevin?
Meta, when I think of Meta and trading Meta, I think noisy, right? So many headlines that are noisy. The lawsuit, that is noisy. The CapEx spend and the focus on that post-earnings, noisy. The Reality Labs losses, a bit noisy. But you know what they did, everyone's talking about they got to stop spending. They got to go back to a year of efficiency. Remember that? Here's the thing. They're still putting up good numbers. But the noise about going to the debt markets for $25 billion, noisy. A lot of things. But what they're not focusing on is 41% operating margins. How about the ad revenue growth tops of anyone, and it's priced right now 14 and a half times 2027 earnings per share. That's basically what you're saying is you're going to screw up AI for Meta. That's what it is. Remember, this stock was almost $800. So it's significantly off its highs. I think it's trading at a discount, frankly. And like I said, there's noise everywhere. And Diane, you just made a great point. The Google Alphabet, when that cloud hung over that about lawsuits for so long, once those clouds dissipated, this stock went crazy on the upside. And so that's kind of my base feeling about Meta. But it's noisy and it's headline driven, and the headlines seem to just pound away on it, even though they have so many positive things.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything he said there. Meta and when you talk about lawsuits, always around Meta, always, all of big tech, actually, they're always either, there's always lawsuits going on, in some cases, tons of them against each company. They're always going in front of the government, right? They get dragged in front of Congress periodically here in the US. They get drugged through, various legal wranglings with foreign governments all the time. This is par for the course for all of big tech. Has been and probably always will be. in regards to that. But when you look at Meta, you have to understand the business itself and how those numbers move. Exactly what he's directing and what he's talking about. We'll talk about valuation here in just a second. I'll kind of make that a side point there at the end when we're talking about Google and, kind of is this another Google opportunity and such. But when you look at the numbers, they are spectacular despite the spend. Who freaking cares that they're going out to the debt market? I agree there. Lots of folks are going to go out to the debt market to, make some balance sheet moves and pick up some debt in order for this AI spend. You have to assume that Zuck's going to completely fail with AI despite him constantly being on the edge. Not that he doesn't have failures. He does, but so does every big tech company. All of them. All the Magnificent Seven, you can pull up company by company by company, and you can walk through failure after failure after failure. So it's not about that sort of stuff. Of course, he tends to, fail in spectacular fashion, kind of an all or nothing kind of guy. But that's how you get huge explosions in the stock. That's how you have, one of the most profitable companies in the world today. That's how you have, like talking about advertising, that's their bread and butter, and it's crushing it. Just crushing it while everybody else can't seem to figure it out. And oh, by the way, if you think advertising is going to slow, it's not. That is going to continue to grow into the future infinitely until, a lot of legacy style companies finally figure out that, hey, advertising on the internet's a better idea than, putting commercials on TV and stuff like that. Companies still haven't figured that out yet. They're still paying far more from that than they are paying Meta for ads, despite the fact their bang for buck with Meta is infinitely better. So those are the type things that even if they fail, it's still a cash printing machine. Even if they take on this risk with AI and this spend, it doesn't freaking matter. We saw the same exact thing with the metaverse. Spent billions on it. Basically was lighting money on fire, right, at that stage. And, 6 months later, the company was more profitable than ever after he finally cut it out, right? After the board finally told him to knock it off. So no, right now is not the year of efficiency for Meta. Right now is for them to go for it, just like everybody else is. And then if they don't have any successes on any of the different products that they're developing, and they're developing a lot of different things, I believe, on AI, not just one. I believe they're taking a lot of different shots at various things. That right there is whenever we can judge, hey, now it's time to be efficient with that business. But the beauty of Meta, and why I love Meta as a stock, is that it can turn that faucet on and off really, really fast. Their turnarounds are going to happen fast because it prints so much money. It's so CapEx light relative to other businesses. It's very, very easy, like an Amazon, for example, or Tesla, for example, or even NVIDIA, for example, where everything they do is hardware, right? I know Meta's looking at getting into some hardware, but it's not near the size of all those others where the CapEx is just massive. It is very, very easy for Meta to wrangle in their CapEx versus a lot others. And of course, then improve margins and everything else overall. So yeah, I'm going to have to agree with this guy, unfortunately or fortunately, depending upon how you want to view it. This time around, he is spot on with that. The vast majority of the negativity around Meta is just simply noise, like it is 99% of the time.
Okay, so it's been plagued by a lot of headlines affecting it recently. So let's get into the example trades. Joe, your approach.
All right, so let's go and stop the video right there. They got into a bunch of different option trades and things of that nature, iron and condor, stuff like that. That's not what we do here on this channel. You can go find the video if you want to see exactly what they're doing there on that if you're into trading. But for me, in regards to, do I see this situation with Meta as a situation similar to Google? My answer to that is yes, it is similar. Now, it's not the same because we're not getting the same discount on Meta right now, although it's trending in that direction that we got on Google, and we're not getting the same time frame where it was just beaten down for such an extended period of time like we got with Google right now. And honestly, it's kind of been a rotation among that Magnificent Seven, right? It's kind of started off with Google there forever. Then it was Amazon for a while. Now it looks like NVIDIA may be in the doghouse a little bit. Meta's definitely in the doghouse right now. It just kind of seems to be this rotation in and out of the Magnificent Seven as to who's, behind or lagging or whatever the case is. And these have just been, we may look back on this, 3, 4, 5 year time period and just go, wow, look at the opportunities you got and the best companies in the world, over the course of that 4 or 5 year period where that didn't make any sense. That's stupid. That's stupid. So Meta, I believe, is a great opportunity. Obviously, if he's saying times 2028, which is a little bit too far for me to project out there, but let's just use it as an example there. You're trading at 14 times or so. Wow. That's not, quite, at an 8 PE, right? It's not quite the pricing we got in 2022, but pretty incredible pricing given the amount of CapEx that they have coming and everything else of that nature. That's the exact setup you want as a, long-term investor, is a great fundamentals, understanding what's really going on with the stock, understanding what's noise and what's not, and being able to get that sort of pricing. So although I don't think it's as great of an opportunity as Google is right now, man, if it keeps diving down and keeps getting lower, it's definitely going to come real close to my price target there, where I'm going to have to start buying some shares. And then, of course, if we get down to that stupid level, then we are going to be at that Google style opportunity. Now, it's not Meta 2022 style opportunity, or even Google in 2022 or Amazon in 2022. It's not that good. I'm not saying that at all, but definitely as around to where Google was last year. Yeah, we might very well. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to run up like Google did or has since then. But nonetheless, hey, I'm ready for it. I'm prepared, and this is exactly what a prepared investor does. And if you want to see my price target for Meta, or see exactly when I start buying in real time again, and you want free coaching, free courses, be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord out there, I may have left something special down in the pinned comment for those of you guys that stuck around that long to get exactly that, to learn how to invest, how to do due diligence, how to break down earnings, to learn how to do all that. Check it out at the pinned comment, see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.